I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Saw a recent national survey put out by Royal LePage on millennials and home ownership, and it had some interesting stuff in here. It says here that 6 out of 10 millennials believe that they will own a home and want to buy a home. It is top priority for them. The survey found that 68% of non-homeowners say buying a house is an important life goal to them. It also went on to say that that there could be a surge of millennials looking to buy homes in the next few years if this survey holds up. Well, I mean, this is good to see. I mean, 68% have got this as a top priority of millennials, and 6 out of 10 plan on buying. And good to see. It'd be nice to see this higher. Should be probably 80%, 85% in my opinion. But of course, you're always going to get 10 or 15%, 20% that unfortunately have just given up hope. I see them all the time on the message boards and on Twitter, in their mid-20s, and they've got no hope. They're basically given up now about home ownership, and that's terrible. Poor parenting, in my opinion, poor role models and people that they're following, probably a group of friends that have all kind of given up hope. It's never too late, and it's not that difficult. It's going to take some work and some effort. Everybody always thinks that you've got to save up $100,000 or $150,000 to get in this market, and you don't. I've often said you start with a Motel 6, maybe a simple one-bedroom or studio in Richmond on SkyTrain or New Westminster or Surrey. You can get in for $300K, might be able to get in high ratio if you try. If you've got a decent enough job, you might be able to get in with a 10% down payment. So $30,000, maybe even a little less, $25K. Now you're in the market. You're riding the market up. You're creating equity two ways, paying down the debt, and long-term capital gain. Might not happen every year, but over 10, 15, 20 years you hold that home, you will do very well on it. It went on to say that policymakers, government, should take note between millennial demand, immigration, and growing pipeline for those that could not transact a purchase over the last 2 years. More supply is needed. Well, of course it is. And if you saw that blog that I did a while ago, and I've done many, the cavalry, unfortunately, especially in Vancouver, and for some extent the lower mainland, is not on the way, especially for Vancouver. They're not building anything here. Have a look around. There's no cranes. There's a few that were pre-sold 2-3 years ago that still have the crane, and a couple of office buildings, but nothing's getting built. Lots of development boards that have been up for years and years and years, but they're all going to be luxury condos. And the absorption rate, and with the economy and interest rates going up, supply chain problems, labor shortages, it's a perfect storm. Nothing's going to get built. You're going to create what I call that coiled spring effect. Demand keeps going up, like it says here. Ouch. Get in now while the getting's good. You can still buy a condo downtown here for under $1,200 a square foot. Good quality concrete. Probably going to look pretty good in 15, 20 years, buying at $1,150, $1,200 a square foot. It went on to say here, with the demand growing, no supply, we could see another surge in price appreciation following this short-term economic softening. Of course we are. The markets are going to go back up. I will give you a 100% guarantee on this. We are in right now, interest rate hikes coming up. We're going to go into a recession. Sales are going to drop over the next 18 months, and prices have already started to soften, especially in the higher end detached market and luxury condo market. One bedrooms for right now, studios, that kind of thing are holding pretty strong. But eventually, if we get enough interest rate hikes, they will soften. But this is par for the course. It's very normal. It's a normal cycle. Markets don't go up forever. They go up for 2 or 3 years, come down 10, 15%, what I call a run-of-the-mill correction, maybe tread water for a year or two. It resets the bar for the next leg up. That's how the S&P 500 works, the NASDAQ, Vancouver real estate, any market. Exotic cars, stamps, vintage guitars, they never go up in a straight line. There's always a cleansing period, a reset, a rebalance, a recalibration. But you can bet dollars to donuts that over the next couple of years, we'll see what happens with the market. Some people are calling for a 20-25% drop. Others are calling for a 5% increase over the next 18 months. It's all over the road. I don't have a crystal ball. Who knows? But eventually the rate tightening will stop, demand keeps going up, immigration keeps going up, and the market will go back up again. And it could go up in a real rip because demand will go up, interest rates will eventually start to come back down again, but we are not putting in any new supply. That's the problem. We've got more people moving into the Lower Mainland than we're building homes. And don't let the city of Vancouver or the NDP, don't fall for their lies that we're going to build more affordable housing. They're not. They're not going to, at least not in Vancouver. Everything in Vancouver from this point on, as I said before, will be luxury homes only. $4 million detached homes, $2 million duplexes, $1.8 million townhomes, $1 million one beds. That's what's going to be offered up here moving forward. Now, you might be able to go out to the Fraser Valley, up to the interior, up to northern BC. Maybe you can get in for definitely less, maybe 800 a square foot for something new, but you're not going to be getting that on the Lower Mainland. So we'll see where the market goes, but most people still see the value, young millennials see the value in homeownership, and that's good to see. They should. There is no alternative. You do not want to be a lifetime renter in a city like Vancouver. It is going to crush you financially, like I've often said. Homeownership should be at the top of your goals. Before you start saving for retirement, but if you want to put a little money into a TFSA, fine, but saving for the down payment, getting into homeownership is always goal number one. Top priority, and I've done many blogs on it. The principal resident exemption, using the leverage, and then there just is no alternative. Renting is $35,000, $40,000 to rent a basic one bedroom. You're going to drop $300,000 over the next decade on rental, and that's renting very basic, and you will get nothing back for that. Tough part is getting the down payment, getting your foot in the door, smooth sailing after that. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks to all my new YouTube subscribers. Thanks to all my new followers on Twitter, and for everyone that's been continues to buy my book on Amazon. See you next week.